A few weeks ago, we heard the news that the West has finally agreed to send armored tank units made by Western countries to Ukraine. As reported by the site, countries such as Germany, Poland, Britain and the United States agreed to send their main battle tanks for use by the Ukrainian side in an effort against Russia. The delivery of battle tanks made by NATO member countries has certainly caused quite a strong reaction from the Russian side. Reporting from the RFI.fr website, Russia assesses that the steps taken by the Western parties have further emphasized their participation in the conflict carried out by Russia and Ukraine. The Russian side also views this move as a reckless way of starting a war on a larger scale. In line with Russia, some parties also said that this step could make the war enter a new step with an even bigger military escalation. Not to mention that the Ukrainian side also asked the West to provide other superior defense equipment such as fighter jets and several of the latest attack missile systems. However, the plan has not been approved due to several considerations such as insufficient training of pilots, aircraft and logistics lines from the Ukrainian side. One of the things that often becomes a problem in the deployment of Western-made weapons to the Ukrainian field is the readiness of the operating crew to use the defense equipment. Of course, a qualified crew is the main requirement for the successful operation of various defense equipment in a war. In other words, the skill of a skilled weapons operator is an absolute factor in the operation of Western-made battle tanks that will be used by the Ukrainian side. On the other hand, the readiness of the combat vehicles themselves is also a problem that is quite burdensome for the parties. We take the example of the M1 Abrams tank made in the United States, which uses a gas turbine engine which is quite difficult to maintain. Gas turbine engines are known to be a bit expensive and require extra maintenance compared to conventional diesel engines. The United States itself plans to replace several M1 Abrams tanks, which originally used gas turbine engines, to diesel engines. However, of course this is not as detrimental as it is thought to be because it requires some adjustments. The same thing also happened to the German-made Leopard tanks which will be donated to Ukraine. Germany will submit a loan for several Leopard 2 tanks and hundreds of Leopard 1 tanks to Ukraine. The Leopard 2 may not have any notable problems, but the Leopard 1 is a different story. Reporting from the tank is considered too old and is also considered to be unable to compete with more sophisticated Russian tanks such as the T-80, T-90 and T-90M which have more modern warfare systems. The above is of course a handful of problems arising from the delivery of several Western-made battle tanks to Ukraine. Of course there are still opportunities for new problems to arise in the future which are part of this step. Some parties certainly hope that the conflict between the two countries will soon end in a peace agreement.